Hi guys, and welcome to Affinity Designer 2. Now what we've got here is the live dock screen. Now that's usually the first opening screen you'll see. Affinity Designer 2 is a brilliant piece of software. Now I'm not going to go into all the details, but I want to show you the user interface, the things you see when you first start it up, just like this. So let's begin right at the top where the icon is. We'll tap on that. Now, tapping on the blue icon for Designer, you can see you can close all documents, you can check for updates, you can import content, and generally the about, and you're all familiar with that one. So just another tap closes that. Now you can see I've got tap on, you can see the blue dot. So when you see that, you know I'm tapping on something. Now this is the live dock screen, which just shows that. That's all there is. Shows you the documents that you've opened and that are still open, shall we say. And a simple tap on one of those, boink, and there it is. Okay, we go back. Now this one here, a tap on that. Back we go. Now we don't want that one because that's pretty rubbish. I was just experimenting with that. Now, before I go into anything else, let's go further down the list. Now you can see the next icon down here. We've got that one. Now we've got that one, the new icon. There's two options you can have here. Just a single tap brings up a new document. Let's see, there's B4, B5. There's all of the options that you can put on there. Easy as. Different size documents that are presets ready to go. A4, 297 by 210 millimeters. Now across here, very similar to any document, you've got the general options, 300 dpi, it's in millimeters, prefer embedded documents. If you import something to it, it embeds it. RGB color, and so forth and so on. That's pretty straightforward. Now, margins and bleed, you can put margins and bleed around it. Margins within your document, so you can keep away from the edges and generally make your document really nicely designed and everything in the right place and not hanging off the edges and everything out of line, which you don't want. Now, I won't press OK because that will actually create a document at this point in time. What I want to do is show you these options. You can see here down the bottom. Let's have a look on that one. And that's like an edit document. So you can remove or add documents to that. You can see that. That's all it does. Just keep pressing and it goes back to the original. Oops, there's a notification. We should have turned those off. Never mind. Let's go back to our A4 document. Now, next to that is like a warning triangle, which it's not, of course. You can name a preset. Enter a name for a preset. Now, I don't want it A4. Maybe I want it something else. In other words, my document. That's easy. Let's cancel that one. Now we're down the bottom here. Let's go to the next one and we'll see what that is. That's a new category. See, you've got A3, A4, A5, and you've got print documents. You've got press ready documents. You've got photo documents, but maybe you want another category. Maybe you want my fantastic design documents in a separate category, all of their own. So you can create a new category, easy as. Now the next one is a little bit odd really because it appears to follow or be the same as the first one. But when you use it, you'll find it's not quite. Now here's a preset name for the print options, for the press ready options, for the photo options, and so it goes on. So you can create a preset in any of those using that end one. But let's just cancel that because we don't want that. Now let's see, where were we up to? We had an A4 document selected and all of that. Now if you wanted to, you could come over here and press OK. Takes you back to the live doc screen and there's your live document. Now, while that's open on a clear screen, let me show you this. That's that thing there. And that's controlled by the little circle right on that left-hand edge that's just scanning out when I touch the screen. But if you hold that down like that, you can see it's got that one there, or that one there, that one there, that one there. And you can turn them off again by simply tapping them. They're keyboard helpers. Or you can turn that dot off altogether if you like. So if you've got a keyboard, or you've got the keyboard on screen and you want to press Alt-A, for example, you can turn that on there. There's your Alt. And now Alt-A will work that. But let's not get into that because I don't want to go into describing that. Now, if I hold that down and hold that down, there we go, and it's gone. Okay, let's not get involved in designing documents. That's not what I want. We're back on the same screen, back on the live docs screen, the opening screen. I want to get rid of that, so let's just tap the X, close without saving. I don't want to save it. That one there, this one here, I could do the same, but there's other options. If you swipe left on the top, in that top bar there, where I had the thing, you can see that. No, I don't want to open it. Swipe left. Now, save that document. Swipe left. Duplicate the document. So you can see up the top there, it says untitled copy. Untitled, it made a copy. Let's just get rid of that straight away. Close without saving. And the other one is enter the new name for your document. At this moment it's untitled, so we tap the little X and you can type in my doc and press OK. Now it's called my doc. Now the interesting thing with all the Affinity apps at the moment, all three apps, there's a bit of an anomaly in the saving option. Whatever you do, this here, whoops, I don't know if you could see that, but if you backspace a little bit, you'll see what it's saving it as. It won't necessarily save it as a file called my doc. It'll save it as either untitled or untitled_1. So you have to fiddle around a little bit, unfortunately, but it will be fixed in the next release, I'm sure. You have to fiddle around a little bit to get the thing to save correctly. Or you can rename it. You've got my doc there. Let's open that. Save a copy. There's my doc. Save. Now let's put this in. It's Affinity Designer. We'll put it in Affinity Designer. Save, and it's gone to Affinity Designer. Let's have a look in Files, in iCloud Drive, Affinity Designer, and there's my doc.affinity designer. So you can see untitled 24, untitled 23, my doc AF design. Now if you want to make sure that's the one that you're going to open, well, I can't import it because it's already open. And there you go. So just be aware that if you lose your documents, it could be because of the rather odd naming conventions that this thing has. Of course, when you open the document, you can also save a copy. So you can save it as my doc, where are we? My doc space 1 and save. There we go. Now put that back in Affinity Designer where it is up there. Affinity Designer. Okay. Save. Job done. Okay. Now that's saved as saved, save as, and save from the other menu. Okay. Let's just leave that there. Now the other thing with new, because we did that one, right? Cancel. If you hold the pen down on the new panel, it comes up with a little drop down. So if you've got something in the clipboard, you can create new from clipboard. If you've got a template, you can create a new document from a template. Oops, no, I don't want to do that. Cancel. Hold it down. No, Oh, it's very quick, isn't it? Long tap, there we go. Now, import document. You might have a PDF or a IDML file or something from another program and you want to import it into your work here. So you import it there. Import photos does just that. You want to know how to get your U-Butte photos from your Apple Photos thing? Import photos. There they are. Loading from photos. I could have picked a better one probably, but there we go. And that's a picture of the allotment. There's a vineyard in the background, some veggies growing there, and my old bomb red car in the front. Now let's turn that off so we don't have that there. That's easy. Go back there, and there's the image. Now I don't want that there anymore, so let's just close without saving. And that's done from long press on new. And a new project, of course, you can create a new project. Now, the other one, next in the line down, is open. So we can open a document. Let's see, not from publisher. iCloud Drive, Affinity Designer. Let's open a designer document. 8 slices Affinity Designer. Now that one's going to take a little bit to download. Oh no, there we go, nice and quick. And there it is. A nice image. And I've already cut that into slices in another exercise I was doing. So turn off our little dot so you can see it clearly. Pinch it in so you can see the image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices. Let's not go into that, because what we want to do here is back out there. Okay, that was, well, okay, long press. There we go. New project, import from photos, a new document. And we've opened a document. Now, samples, these are samples supplied by Affinity themselves. Now, these are really useful because you can disassemble them if you like and see exactly how they've done them. Let's have a look at this one, Shinatsu Dentsu. Downloading the sample. Let's hope it's not a gigantic sample. And see how long it takes. Downloading sample. You can tell I've got a really fast internet here. Oh, super fast. Yeah, right. It's like having a piece of wet string sometimes. The speed that things don't come down here, but there it is. Now that's a pretty cool image, isn't it? Let's have a look at that. And you can see there's lots of layers there. There's lines, there's add noise, aberration, art. There's all the art. There's the girl there. Look at that. We can take her right out of there and put her back in. That's pretty cool. Now, what I want to show you up here is this little button here in the corner. It looks like a pin board that you would have, like a little pin that you push in the board to hold a piece of paper up. Now, it's on when it's got the grey background, and that means that you can touch in there and it goes away. Now the layer's on. Let's turn that on. Now it's white. Previous was off, sorry. This is on. And you can touch in there and it doesn't go away. Do what you like in the document. Doesn't go away. But turn it off. Now it's all grey. Turn it off. As soon as you touch in the document, the sidebar goes away. So you've got all that space. You're not continually trying to look underneath your document. So let's not get back into that again. Let's get out of there because that's the samples. They're fairly straightforward. Now the next one down here is the help screen. Now this is still a work in progress, but most of it's there. Now let's see what we want to find here. REVERSE, reverse, edit lines and shapes, artistic text, node tool. There's the node tool. And you can find out just about anything you want to know by reading through there. Now this is an interesting one that hasn't yet been fixed. See here it says to reverse curves. At the moment that's been forgotten, and I'm sure the very capable chaps at Affinity are working on that with a great deal of haste because a lot of people are asking for it. Okay, don't forget the help screen. It's your good friend. The account, of course, shows you where your account is and all your YouTube free downloads that on my system at least appear to download into the iCloud downloads folder. You might have different options. And preferences, the last thing in this group, let's have a look at preferences. Now there's a few things here that you probably should turn on. General, you can see down there I've got just about everything turned on. Show touches, that gives you that little blue dot when you touch the screen. Now they can be very handy because if you accidentally touch somewhere where you shouldn't be touching, you can have all sorts of problems. Now this one, show, undo and redo buttons. Let me show you exactly what that is. It's turned off by default, but you really do want it on. Now, see down here, whoops, see there, undo and redo. So if you make a mistake, you can undo and redo very easily. Let's get back out of that, back into preferences, user interface, show, redo and undo. So now the other ones you can have on or off, as you like. Colour, well, they're fairly standard colours unless you're into intricate and specific design or photography issues. Just leave that as it is. If you need to change it, you'll know you need to change it. You'll be very skilled and you'll know what to do. So for the moment, just leave that like it is. Tools. Now, create text with blend gamma. Just leave it like it is. Nudge distances, 1 pixel. So you can nudge something left or right, 1 pixel. The other synchronize tools between documents. Yeah, I've just left all that as it comes. Pencil, that's your Apple Pencil. Fairly straightforward, unless you really know what you're doing, just leave that. Fonts, now there's all the fonts I've got installed on here. You've got to be careful with the iPad. You can't install too many fonts, although I think I've got too many on here anyway, but I'm still working out how to get rid of them. Well, you can use the rubbish bin there, but if you want more, you can get more fonts from iCloud Drive, search, fonts. Now there's a whole host of fonts I've downloaded and I've got ready in there for different tasks I'm doing. Document fonts, what's in there? Old House Grotesque, OTF. Can I add that font? You simply tap on it and it adds it. Couldn't be simpler. So let's get right out of that. There's a few fonts. Actually, there's probably one there I can get rid of. Never mind. Shortcuts. If you've got a keyboard, these are really useful. A lot of them are useful. A lot of people rely on shortcuts, but I prefer to use the pencil and just work away. I know what I'm doing. And having a keyboard on an iPad, well, maybe if you've got one of those 10 or 12-inch iPads, the things are as big as laptops, which are very inconvenient. The iPad I'm using is an iPad Mini 6, and I'm sitting here with it in the palm of my hand, basically. I've got a fold-back lid on it, and I can just hold it up in one hand and use the Apple Pencil in the other. So I'm not using those. Linked services. Now, the only one available is Dropbox. If you've got a Dropbox account, you don't need to use the iPad and fill it up with all your work. You don't need to use Apple's iCloud, which easily synchronizes between all of your Apple devices, your desktop and your other iPads. But Dropbox has no delay. And if you're linked to it with your Dropbox account, then you can save to and from Dropbox, the same as iCloud, but it all happens a lot quicker. And if you move to another device, in another location even, there is all your work on Dropbox, and you can get it back without having to log into iCloud. You just log into Dropbox from wherever you are. You could be on a computer in I don't know, one of these shops where you can go along and casually use a computer. If you log into Dropbox from one of those places, make sure you wipe your password out before you leave it. Okay, and reset does just that. Resets everything back to its defaults. So if you're checking preferences and you make a complete hash of it, go back here and you can select all or select a few and just reset everything to where it was. Now when you're done, just click done, and that's it. That's the introduction to the interface. Couldn't be easier. Now I won't get into doing designs, but you can see I've got quite a range on there. I've got the frightful ones. That was an exercise from Retro Supply to see if you could every day of the month for a month in October, and guess what, it was Halloween. Now there's the design for that one, and you can see there's all sorts of designs in there. That one we had a look at, and so forth. Very easy. AJS, that's a motorbike logo that I've done in, that's all curves. As you can see down the list there, they're all curves. So you can make that, as you know from Designer, the benefit of curves is you can make them any size you like. I could enlarge that to the size of a building siding, and it's not going to distort, as long as, of course, you enlarge the entire image. But you won't get any jaggies and things like that. That's the glory of Affinity Designer. Okay, there's the interface, and that's also the end of this first introductory video to Affinity Designer version 2. Remember, there's a couple of little oddities that haven't been quite implemented properly just yet, but like all great software, I'm sure the developers are working full steam ahead on fixing those. There's an excellent forum where you can sound your views. There are a lot of Facebook. Well, there's a lot of YouTube channels, but there's also my YouTube channel. Remember to share this video with your friends. If they're not too sure what Affinity Designer looks like, share the video with them. The more you share, the more people will say, wow, thanks for that. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video where hopefully we'll get into a bit of design work.